Hi, Stephen here from Sound of a Nation Wave, and this is day 24 of the September daily draws. So as we close out the weekend and approach a new week, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from Dugan's Witch's Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, so here we go, and today we will go there. And our card today is the World, funnily enough. So we've just had Mabon. Yesterday was the autumn equinox. And this is when things are in balance, everything comes together. You've got the balance of the light and the dark. You've got the balance of the masculine energy, feminine energy. You've got all of these things, and you've got with anybody that celebrated the autumn equinox yesterday. I hope you had a fruitful time, rewarding time, and enjoyable time. I did, and this is very much the point where, everything comes together, everything's in balance, there's a phase that's completing, and another new one that's about to begin. And in a sense, when we've got that equilibrium of the autumn equinox, that's a starting point for a new phase where the light diminishes a little, the warmth of the earth diminishes, and the darkness and the cold increases as time goes on. So we're entering into the darker, cooler time of year. Again, here in the Northern Hemisphere, where I am, and I do acknowledge that if there's anybody watching that's in the Southern Hemisphere, it's going to be different for you. And I apologize. I try to acknowledge that whenever I think of it. But I'm automatically going to be geared to the hemisphere in which I live. So I realize that may not feel relevant to you. And I apologize to that when I'm talking about these particular things. But it's what I'm going to do. But I do acknowledge that you're entering, in the Southern Hemisphere, you're entering the spring. You've had the spring equinox, and you've had things going. So in a sense, this still applies because you've had the other equinox, and so you're coming out of that dark period, and you're beginning. The earth for you is beginning to warm up. I mean, depending on the climate, of course. I mean, the climate these days around the world is crazy. There's no. It doesn't always adhere to the traditional concepts of seasons and everything. But with all that said, what I'm saying is that from that point of view, you're still entering this new phase. It's just the opposite phase to us in the Northern Hemisphere. So the principle of entering a new phase, of going into something new, having completed the light half of the year, we're going into the dark half of the year. And for those in the Southern Hemisphere, from the dark to the light. So, but at the same time, though, those of you in the South that have been celebrating the spring equinox, as well as celebrating the autumn equinox, the thing about the equinox is that light and darkness are equal in both cases. It's just that in the north, we go into more darkness from that point, but in the south, you go into more light from that point. So, but at the equinoxes, both northern and southern hemisphere have the light and dark at the same time, of the equal balance. It's just that where they go from there is what differs. So, the key point is that we've come round to the balance where everything is even again, and then it changes then from that point on. So the new phase is coming, and for us that means that we've been talking about a new journey. We've finished one cycle, we're beginning another. That's the message of the card, and we can take the energy and what the light of the equinoxes with us that we've gained, and when we're moving into the darkness, we can take the light within us, with our own light that we've gained, and that will help us and guide us through the darker times. For those in the south that are going from darkness into light, you will have grown through the experiences of the dark times, of the dark months, and now you're free to take that and move outwards into the light, to take the growth and the lessons you've learned and put them into action, to sow the seeds that you'll later reap. So whichever way around it is, we have what we need to move forward. The energies have come together in harmony and balance at this time to help us reset in order to move forward into whatever phase that we're going into next, depending what's applicable to each one of us. And that's the message of this card. You've had a reset, and now it's time to begin to take that reset and move into this new phase. Okay, let's see what oracle card we get to go with that. There's not much more to be said on that front. I spent a heck of a lot of time talking about the equinoxes. Here we go. Campfire. Do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. In whatever situation, it's about, again, about that community and coming together. And when people talk and tell stories around the campfire, what this says to us is that as we move forward in whatever way, your voice is valid and needs to be heard. Don't be afraid to speak. You need to be able to express what's within you. Allow your tongue to speak. Don't remain silent because of fear or anxiety or doubt about yourself. It's time to communicate. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow as we start the new week with day 25. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.